of amazing things happening here, and I'll obviously chip in the end. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So looking forward to that. Take it away, Shane.
Okay, cool, man. That's absolutely awesome. So, guys, you can share this link with your friends and families, and more importantly, um, listen to it over and over again because I leave a lot of nuggets, and sometimes I talk rather fast, and I want you to understand what we are doing. I want you to watch it over and over again because I will share, a lot of information on this one here. I'm just clicking copy and paste, and boom. Okay, guys, at the bottom of your screen, you would be able to see your link for the recording of this. So, hello YouTube. If you guys are coming in from you watching from YouTube as well, my name is Shane D, and I'm going to give you a little bit information about what we are doing right now. Now, this call, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to leave a little bit of breadcrumbs to show you what huge corporations, huge governments, and more importantly, what the world is doing with a cryptocurrency that we call XRP. Now, today, one XRP as of now is let me just go back and I'll tell you XRP versus you'll see I do this all the time because I am working with real figures, real numbers. I'm giving you live updates. So we're looking around 23 Rand 85 for one XRP. Okay, XRP. So obviously, by what I just said, we're talking about XRP here. But what qualifies me to talk to you? Look, I'm not qualified in any way to talk to you about this, but I've got 40 years of experience. Okay. I was the first person in Africa to buy a car on the blockchain using Bitcoin. There you go. It's also branded with Bitcoin. But more importantly, what has happened from 2024 till now that has changed completely. When I was involved in crypto, government said they're coming for me, banks said they're coming for me, SARS said they're coming for me, everybody said they're coming for me, even Facebook said they're coming for me. Even a broke man down the street said, oh, Bitcoin is not legal. Okay, everybody said, how many of you guys had that experience? But what happened past 2024 is absolutely amazing. So today we're going to talk about XRP. It's under $2. You guys probably missed Bitcoin at $2. So did I. So if I'm going to tell you collect XRP, you need to know why you need to do it. So let me explain. How many of you guys on this call, remember, use your chat. How many of you guys on this call know what is Web3? If you know what is Web3, type in Y for yes. If you don't know, type in N for no. Because for this to make sense to you, you got to know what is Web1, Web2, Web3. Okay? So all our guys is always on this call. You probably, okay, so we've got yeses, good. Gavin says no. Sarah Ware says no. Okay, cool. Shiraz said no. So let me explain in a nutshell. Many of you weren't around probably when the internet was created, or when it was created, you probably hadn't had that experience. But when Web 1 and the internet was created, it was called Web 1, where you could only read information. It was read only, you could not interact. Making sense? So when the internet was created, was Web 1, where you could read only. As innovation happened, faster internet, faster computers, we pivoted into Web 2. This is where we could read and write. What does that mean? We could read something and we could respond. We could poke. We could click hearts. Do you understand? It was communication. So we could send emails. Banking sector, Web 2. You email your bank manager. Have an application on your phone where you can click help and it talks to an AI agent. You understand? But here's a problem with Web 2. Web 2 is controlled by certain groups of people. You got your Googles, you got your Microsoft, you've got Meta, you've got all your social media, but they control your data. They monetize your data. That means they sell your data and you have no idea. All you do is click like, poke, like, poke. They collect all your likes and pokes and they create an avatar of you. They know you better than you know yourself. They know what you liked 2 years ago, which you don't even remember now. They know what car you liked, what rims you like, what shoe you like, what handbag you like. So what they do is, every time they do this, They create a portfolio of you, and they take the digital information and they sell it to corporations. That's when they bombard you with information. Banks do the same thing. So banks know where you like to eat. They know what you like spending your money on, which countries you like to travel. They already have an algorithm on how you spend. Did you guys know that? So now what's happening is Web 2 is created, right? But you don't control your data. It's controlled by these huge corporations, which they sell. So you contribute, but you don't have a say in it, okay? So 2008, when the blockchain was created, these Web 2, see, this is where it comes full circle. These Web 2 companies hated the blockchain. Banks, Microsoft, PayPal, or MasterCard, Visa card, governments, they hated that. Why? Because they can't control you anymore. Because blockchain, you control your own data. You hold your own keys. So they were against it. And when Bitcoin came out, dead against it. Banks were against it. You guys know up till now, some of you on this call probably still think that, right? But I'm about to show you what's happening. So what's happening right now, the community of the crypto space is so huge that banks is saying, wait a minute. If it takes somebody 2 seconds to send money from this country to another country in terms of Bitcoin and crypto, what's going to happen is eventually all these business guys and these corporate investors, they're going to pull out the monies from the banking system and put it into blockchain because we want speed. Imagine the world is moving so fast. When you send an email, the other country gets it. But when you're buying something from China, it takes 2 to 3 business days. So banks try to fight it, but they can't do it anymore. So now we're moving on to Web 3, where you can read, write, and own your digital data, which I'm about to prove to you. So I want you to understand something. Certain things that's going on in the monetary fiscal of our country and around the world, you guys aren't aware of that. And that is what's scary. That's why we do this calls Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, to make you aware of what is happening. And these guys have such a way of moving from Web 2 to Web 3 that they keep it so in a down low that only if you come to calls like this, they'd be highlighted and says, did you know? And then you say, damn, how can these guys do that? What do you think? They're going to babysit you. They're going to pick up the phone and tell you, hello, you need to buy this. No. When you are sleeping, they are buying. When they still fear in you, you don't buy, and they are buying while you're still sleeping. So we on this call, and the person who invited you is trying to wake you up to tell you, look, yes, we had bad experiences with crypto, but that was before the government said, hey, we want to legalize it. So now that you are coming in brand new, you guys have this opportunity that you're not going to ever see again in the history of finance. Let's go. I want to show you exactly why we're here and what we are talking about. If you got some value on that day, give me a thumbs up in the chat or on the reaction if you learned something on that day. So let's start with the something called XRP. What you're looking at is a coin market cap, and it's a consolidation of all cryptos around the world. And as you can see, we are talking about in fact, this is the third largest crypto. As you can see, it's 4, but Tether is not really a crypto. It's a stable coin, right? It's linked to the dollar. So this is the third largest crypto that we have. As you can see, it started to go up. But how big is XRP? Okay, so XRP is basically, and as you can see, it's going on sale right now. Price is going down, which is a good thing. 84 billion. Okay, 84 billion. Now, when we look at the all-time high, it was created in 2012 and it's up 23,000%. Can you see that? Now, just like every other crypto, this goes up and down, but there's mass movement behind XRP, and this is what I want to show you. Okay, this is Absa Bank, Corporate and Investment Banking. Okay, this is a website. It's not a blog. Johannesburg, South Africa, 15th of October, 2025. Absa Bank partners with Ripple. Now, what is Ripple? What is Ripple? So Ripple is basically the company that creates the platform for, monies to move across border. And XRP is the token that makes it happen. So XRP is the fuel for Ripple. Okay, I want you to understand that. XRP is the fuel, because if you're sending money to somebody else, you have to pay a transaction fee in banking sense, right? So when these banks now want to send money overseas, yes, they're sending rands, digital rand, but they need the fuel, which is XRP. They need to buy XRP. Okay, so APSA just partnered with Ripple, which means they need a whole lot of XRP. But this happened in October 2025. But this is what is even scary. As of November 24, these are all the banks that partnered with XRP. Why 2024, ladies and gentlemen? The year 2024 was because the head of the SEC that was against crypto got replaced. And obviously, you guys know what happened in America with Donald Trump saying, hey, we want to legalize the whole crypto space in 2024. That is why these are some of the banks that actually partnered with XRP. Bank of Thailand. Guys, there's a lot. SBI Holdings is basically Japanese. I'm going to show you some information about that there. Saudi Arabia, the Western Union, you guys know Western Union. They basically do repetitions, right? So I'm just going to scroll this very, very quickly, but I want you to have an idea. Some of these banks, some of you will probably look and say, wow, I know that bank. Some of you may just be gibberish to you because most of them coming out from the Asian markets, right? But I'm going to show you a couple here that I want to point out. Okay, Bank of America, Montreal, Standard Chartered Bank, Barclays, National Bank of Abu Dhabi, Deloitte, JP Morgan, Singapore Exchange, and the list goes on. But 1 year later, this is what happened, 2025, list of institutions that are using and adopting. These are the countries. This is Japan. Now, I want you to watch carefully, right? When this article came out, 2025, they talk about SBI Holdings Japan. Let's do a quick search here. Let's just put in Ripple and we put in Japan, okay? Ripple has a strong standing. Let's go straight to CoinDesk, right? CoinDesk is a reputable, let's say, platform for crypto news. So they're going to allow XRP to be used as payment method by its 44 million customers. This is Japan that is now going to allow XRP to be used. This message or this news came out on 16th of April. That's about, 12 days ago. Okay, and they talk about this here. Can you see this here? This is Japan, guys. This is what's happening at the moment. And the reason I'm showing you this is because all this, what you're seeing now that's happening, is basically years and years in the making. Years and years. They've been researching for a long time. Then you've got UAE, Bank of Japan, I just showed you, USA, American Express, Standard Chartered, right? UK and Spain, Standard, Commonwealth Bank of Australia. So you got, that is why we have our Australian guys on the call. So you can see this is important news for Australia. Let me just tap with Australia since we've got guests from Australia here. You probably want to know, hey Shane, what is happening in Australia when it comes to Ripple? Big news that's happening. Okay, let's just go on to CoinDesk again and what it says here. Ripple to acquire acquisition Australian financial services license as APEC Payments. And it's already done, guys. So basically, Australia has, Ripple has its financial services license in Australia. I can go further. I can even show you this. Ripple EU license. EU basically means the European Union, right? How many of you guys are getting value for what I'm showing you here? Let me see it in the chat. What's this about? Ripple secures full EU e-money license in Luxembourg. How many of you guys knew that the whole world is pivoting to around XRP, but it's only 23 Rand and you could have bought so much more, but you had no idea that this is happening? Okay, so let's take it one step further now, first, because we have people in Africa here. You might say to me, but Shane, That's all well and good. You're talking from a banking perspective. What about from a government perspective? What is our government stance on crypto? So let's show you. In April 2026, South Africa's minister draft cash flow had that draft management regulation that bring crypto assets under the strict supervision of South African Reserve Bank. National Treasury invites public. Okay, crypto assets officially deemed capital. Can you see this? National Treasury invites public to comment. Don't you guys think it's like absolutely hilarious that after calling it a scam for all of these years, now they want like the Shane D's, like the Collins, the Zavs, the Doomies, the Vikashnis, the Julians to say, hey, let's talk about this. This is what infuriates me. After you call us Bitcoin is a scam, crypto is a scam, now because you know it's moving in a particular direction, you want to invite the public to comment. Sorry, guys, I get very, very agitated when I hear those things because I've been in the space for a long time and I went through a lot in terms of the government calling this rat poison and the works. And now, because the world is moving towards XRP and crypto, like for an example, let me share one more piece of information. Sorry, guys, I digress. But when I digress, it really riles me up. Okay. Ripple, commodity. Zach, this is your favorite one. How many of you guys know what's a commodity? So, as of April 2026, US and the Securities Exchange, that's the SEC, have solidified XRP status as a digital commodity. It's the same flippant SEC that shut down all the crypto projects that went to America in the first place. And now you say that you're actually calling XRP and Bitcoin a commodity. So what is a commodity? Gold, oil, silver. And now they classify XRP and Bitcoin as a commodity. So ladies and gentlemen, today I want to show you how to accumulate a commodity. Let's leave the word crypto, because a lot of people who hear the word crypto, the fear of propaganda and all of that the government has instilled to them and their friends and family and Facebook who haven't studied the blockchain, not even for 1 hour, talk shit about the space and they believe them. So I want to share something with you. Very, very important. Use the word digital commodity. Why? Because you see all the financial advisors out there and all the bankers out there, they can relate to the word commodity, but they cannot relate to the word crypto. How stupid is that? I've got an E in matric. I didn't even study. I didn't even go to a university. But I took advantage of the crypto space and I learned blockchain courses. They didn't even ask me for my age. I did blockchain courses, smart contracts, learning, loopholes, etc. I never gave up on the space. So I welcome all of you to be here. I want you to understand that this is made easy. Zaf and I, whoever lost money here, Colin, we paid school fees to be at this point where government is embracing us. Draft. Meet us for a draft. I will not go and help the government to draft anything. So let's show you how we make money. That's why you're here on the call. Let's show you how we do this, right? Let me stop my screen share and get the proper. Sorry, guys, if I tend to be a bit rude. I know I got a lot of criticism once on this call when I used the word OMG. Oh my God. I got criticized that I'm using God's name in vain when I was just shocked with the news and I just said it. And so I got criticized for that. So I do apologize in advance if I offended anybody by saying the OMG word, right? So let's talk about this. How do we accumulate this thing called XRP? So before we go in there, let's recap. XRP around 23 rand, right? $1.37. I showed you that. Then I showed you Absa Bank, Standard Bank, all of them who wants XRP. Okay, they're partnering towards XRP. So now that I showed you that, your thinking must be like, okay, Shane, talk to me. How do I accumulate this thing XRP? Okay, naturally, there's progression. You need to know if they want it, if there's a demand, how can I get it, right? So how did I get a hold of this? So some of you know the story, but I just want to give it to the few guys who came on the call. I was in Dubai last year. I was invited to meet the president of a country called Central African Republic. He is basically tokenizing all his natural resources. So it's called RWA, real world assets, where governments and countries are putting all their assets onto the ledger, okay, onto the XRP ledger, so it can be tokenized. So as we move to Web3, this was given to me as well. I have no idea where my invite is gone, but as you can see, it says here, Sovereign Ambassador Key, unlocking the new Web3 world. Can you see? Everybody's moving towards Web3. So you guys are one of the first few to learn about where Web3 is going. By the way, the whole AI is based on Web3. The whole of the AI infrastructure is based on Web3, right? Because you need AI agents to book your tickets for you, to book a restaurant for you, right? So in order to do that, they need access to your account. Banks won't give an AI bot access to your account, but you can give your AI access to your account when they ask you for your fingerprint. So for the whole AI world to innovate, they need Web3 and crypto. And banks now have realized that. That is why they're pivoting quickly. They want to be part of the AI movement. So when you click, I want that house, and put your thumbprint because your AI agent found the house for you, you can still use Standard Bank and NetBank. These banks are very, very wise. They're trying to adapt. So while I was there, the buzzword in the room was XRP in July. And Mr. DMA was on this call together with some other guys that came to me and says, yeah, South Africa is moving towards XRP. And I said, no, thanks. It's not for me. I came back down to South Africa in September. October, I saw that article. I called Mr. DMA. By the way, DMA flew down in September to South Africa. I met with him here in Durban to give for a bunny chow from Romania. So guys, I'm seeing the chats. Can you please leave all your comments for the once we're done, unless I prompt you to put something in. Sandhya, there's no way I'm going to look at that right now. So I will answer all of that questions in the end. So when we're done, I'll ask you to open up your mic and type your question in, and then we'll get you. Besides, this is live on Zoom, and you don't want to put personal information on the chat, right? So guys, let's observe the protocol. All questions to the end. Sorry about that, Sandhya, but I don't want to lose. See, as it is now, I lost my train of thought. So he came down to South Africa and we spoke, and I said, oh, that's fine. 15th of October, I saw that APSA article. I called him up. I said, I need to do some homework. That's when he showed me what I'm about to show you. Okay. So let's get started with it. So this is just going to take 10 minutes because I'm just going to show you how our bot works. XAB means XRP AI bot. Okay. So this is a disclaimer. I'm not giving you any financial advice. I'm not a financial services provider, but I can tell you I know way more than some of the financial advisors when it comes to the blockchain space. So Bitcoin is an asset token. You buy the whole long term. Ethereum is a technology token. You basically create dApps on it. dApp is basically okay. Let's break this down for you. So in Web 2, it's called an app. Why? You download it from the Google Play Store or Apple's Play Store, which is controlled, right? You know, Google is controlled. Apple, that's why it's called an app. On Web 3, on Ethereum blockchain, when they create this, it's called a dApp. D or decentralized application. Okay. In Web 2, it's called finance. In Ethereum and all of these new products that's coming out, it's called DeFi, which is decentralized finance. Am I making sense? So your Ethereum is a technology token where all your DeFi stuff is happening, right? And XRP is a banking token which you buy and you can use to transfer from one country to another. Now, if I just mentioned XRP is a banking token without showing you all the banks and countries moving towards it, it would have made sense. But now you have an idea, right? They basically got the banking license. So XRP created in June 2012, used by banks to replace the SWIFT banking system. And this is the important thing I need to explain to you about. Brad Garlinghouse is the CEO in XRP. He is also part of the advisory board for the Clarity Bill. So the Clarity Bill, there's a lot of discussion on the Clarity Bill right now in the US. The Senate has already passed it. Basically, the Clarity Bill is giving regulation to cryptocurrency for AI and banks. So once that is passed, boom, XRP price does that. So we're waiting for the Clarity Bill. That is why you're finding a lot of people are taking profits and then dumping. That's why the price of XRP is dipping, because they're waiting for it to come down a little bit more to buy by the millions for it to pump up, right? So what is the SWIFT banking system? So let me explain. How you send money anywhere in the world right now is using the SWIFT system. So there's over 11,500 banks. It's over 200 countries. One bank from one country must be able to speak to the other bank. So they got like their own messenger service type of thing. So you send money to China, it takes 2 to 3 business days and you got a process of code. Everybody understands? So for you to communicate to the rest of the world with your Netflix, your Google Pay, your Shein, your Temu, whatever you're doing right now in South Africa, you need SWIFT for that. Easy, right? Good. However, the SWIFT is controlled by Web 2 and the US. Now what's happening is there's a turmoil. You guys can see what's happening. So Russia attacked Ukraine. America attacked a lot of countries, but I don't know my YouTube channel to get blocked, but I'm just saying, right? In South Africa, we say, I'm just saying for a word. So Russia attacks Ukraine. USA comes and said, you've been a naughty boy, Mr. Putin. We are now sanctioning your country. That means we're disabling your SWIFT payment system. Now imagine you in South Africa with the disabled the SWIFT payment system. We can't have no stuff coming to South Africa. We can't have Netflix. We can't have Google. We can't, because we can't pay for it. You understand? But the important thing for you to take away from this was that all these countries around the world have bonds and treasuries with the US, including Russia. $300 billion of it is frozen in the US. So what's happening around the world right now? Other countries are saying, whoa, that means if we don't agree with the US, and you can see it happening in real time with Spain, Norway, all of these Europe countries, they say, Donald Trump, this is not your war. So all of these countries are a bit frightened, right? So what's going to happen is, this is the pivot that's happening at the moment, okay? So I also mentioned we got Sandbank South Africa that also uses. Now, let's look at regional adoption. UAE, you guys can see what's happening, right? Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Mexico, Europe, India, Japan, Australia, South Korea, and Africa. But what is the potential of future adoption? Middle East, Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia. When I say Middle East, you can see what's happening with Iran, right? Latin America, you guys saw what happened with Venezuela. Africa, Burkina Faso, Libya. And South Africa, you guys know that Americans are not in favor of South Africa at the moment, right? For whatever political reason you guys know. Do your homework. Southeast Asia, Vietnam. So what are they doing, guys? They are saying, we need a plan B to send money around the world. So let's move to XRP. Now, this is where it got to sink in. And I say this in all my calls. Your great-grandfather, your grandfather, even your father was not involved in that movement with SWIFT. It was created in 1973. It's the first time in history that countries are moving the payment system. And the person who invited you to the call invited you here to see that and for you to be part of the movement. What happens when the right word is $250 billion? $250 billion of money is from America is going to move into XRP. Where does that push the price to XRP? That's why I said at the beginning of this call is going to scare you, it's going to make you think on another level, but most importantly, what you do with the information. So let's go back to our PowerPoint, okay? So now you know why it was created, to replace the SWIFT banking system, right? SWIFT is old, slow, and expensive, confusing. For those of you tried sending money abroad, you could attest to this. XRP is new. It's 1,500 transactions per second. It's virtually free and it's transparent. Now, if XRP takes over 25% of the network, of SWIFT network, so 25% of 11,500 banks gives you around a $10,000 XRP. Can you see that? But we're not talking about a $10,000 XRP. We're talking about a $10 XRP. Let's assume XRP goes to $10 by end of 2026. What we want to do for you and your family is help you accumulate 100,000 XRP. If it goes to just $10, that will leave you a dollar billionaire. Okay? That's in South Africa, that's 160 million in a year's time. And this is where your brain shut off. Why? Because you are in a situation where in your life right now where you can't understand how you can make $1 million. But I've learned from the video that you saw in the beginning, Les Brown, that how is none of your business. If you've been dreaming about it, if you've been thinking about it, if you've been writing it down, the universe finds a way to move around and to make that come true. The question is, some of you don't believe that you can make $1 million. Now, some of you may look at me and say, Shane, are you just dangling a carrot in front of us? No. In my experience in the crypto space, I made $2.6 billion in Bitcoin. And I want this to sink in. I made $2.6 billion when government said it was illegal, when banks said it was illegal, when everybody around me said they don't even know what is Bitcoin. Can you spell it? What is it? You guys are coming at a time where it's under $2 and the whole flipping world wants it. Can you see $1 million is the minimum you can make? I want you to understand that, because we're at the right time in the right place where it's affordable. And if we accumulate a lot, by the time the rest of South Africa, Australia, or Namibia, whichever part of the world you're this call, wakes up, talking about the average sleepy Joe, you guys will be multi-millionaires. So how do we accumulate? How do we make, XRP compound? How does it work? Let's show you how to earn XRP. We're not saying you buy XRP and hold. We're talking about earning XRP. So this is our bot. Every Tuesday, we activate our bot. So please, there's a reminder for everybody on the call who did activate the bot today. I will show you how to activate the bot. I did activate my bot on purpose today just to show you guys, right? So we do arbitrage trading, win-win model. We scan multiple exchanges in real time, detect the price difference, rapid execute with speed and execution, buy low and sell high. So let's break this jargon down. Very, very easy. Okay, so right here, if we look at it, we've got over 49 million different cryptos, and we've got over, I think, 100 different exchanges, right? 1,000. What am I saying? 100? 937 exchanges. Okay, so 937 exchanges that you could buy XRP in. Listen properly. Sorry, let me get this right. Listen properly. We only work with 4 exchanges. We work with Coinbase. We work with Kraken. We work with Binance, and we work with Bitstamp. Okay, 4. Now, what our bot does is very, very simple. You see, at any given time, if I had to go to each one of those exchanges, the price of XRP would be different, maybe a couple of cents different, maybe 0.002 cents difference. Now, arbitrage trading is for corporates, for banks. Why? The profit margin is so little that you need a lot of capital, like 10 million and over, to make decent profits. That's why arbitrage is for banks and huge corporate clients. You and I don't have that type of money to actually play in arbitrage. That is why we do forex trading. What's forex trading? Put in a buy, sit all day, look at the charts, putting your candle, your lines to say, okay, here's our buy. We open a trade here. There's our buy here. Oh yes, we make profit. If we don't take profit, it falls down, hits your stop loss, and you lose money. That's where you can start with 100 Rand, 200, 500 Rand. But we don't have time for that, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of the reasons why the black things on my eyes, because I just sit and look at the charts and I realize it's not for me. The corporates and the banks do arbitrage trading. So they just buy from one exchange and sell to the other exchange. That's it. Your bot is doing that. It scans those 4 exchanges. It sees where the price is cheap. It buys there and sells there. So even if the price of XRP comes down to 50 cents, those exchanges are still going to sell XRP. There's still going to be a price variation. Your bot will still buy and sell, and pay you. Am I making sense? Okay, that is called arbitrage trading. If you guys want to stick around later on in the call, I'll show you bot working in real time, right? So what I just said basically is all of this here. Okay. Now, how does your bot work? It gives you up to 1% a day for 6 days a week. You earn Wednesday till Monday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then you get paid on Tuesday. You activate your bot on Tuesday. Sorry, I just lost focus there. So 6 days a week, so that's Wednesday to Monday, and Tuesday you activate your bot. So this is what this is about. Your bot, you click on your bot, you click submit, and yes, and your bot is activated. Okay? Easy? Now, how much does it cost you? Relax. You don't have to sell your car or bond your house. It costs you 11 XRP. 10 XRP is the base package, and 1 XRP is the fee. Now, you can come in with 12 XRP, 15 XRP, 29 XRP, 504 XRP. I know it says packages, but you can literally come in with any amount of XRP. So let's break it down. This is how the whole thing works. This is on the blockchain. It's a smart contract. That means this here is done with AI, quantum computing. So 1 XRP, which is 23 Rand, is the fee. If you guys like that, give me some flames there. Only 23 Rand. But here's what's scary. If the price goes up, then one fee now becomes $100, $200, $10,000. Now you know why timing is important, okay? Because XRP is cheap. So this is how it works. I don't know where you are in your life right now. I don't know what's your affordability, okay? If you come in with 10 XRP to 99 XRP, you'll make 300%. Repeat, 10 XRP to 99 XRP, you will make 300%. So you come in with 10 XRP, you make 30 XRP. You come in 40 XRP, you make 120 XRP. You understand? Basically 3 times that amount. Understood? We're averaging around 20% per month. So if you do your maths, about 5 months, you will get your ROI. But if the price of XRP goes up, it's going to be way quicker than that. You understand that? So let's talk about other guys who say, Shane, I did not spend my Tuesday afternoon on my Tuesday. I'm fasting. I have to leave my sugar beans curry on the, on the table to come sit with you to talk to me about 10 XRP. I wasn't put on this earth to make 10 XRP. When you showed me the whole bank wants it, talk to me, brother. I want a bigger package. So this is where I'm talking to you. If you come in with 100 XRP and above, you're going to earn 400% return. So we all get the same percentage today because the bot is only programmed to do that on the smart contract, but you get 400%. You like that? Good. So if you're in, type in I'm in. You get back to the person who invited you on the call. By the way, type in I'm in if you're in. I want to see who spoke, who got the message when I was explaining to them. If you're in, there's a chat there, type in I'm in. And guys, if you are out, tell us, I don't want to do this bot. The 359 is too expensive for me, or I don't know where you are, or I don't believe what APSA is saying, I don't believe what the finance minister is saying. He's saying, I don't know, I don't believe what Australia is saying, I don't believe, I want to go back in my hole, I want to crawl down and I want to leave me there. By all means, we do not convince, we do not force, we do not beg. Okay? I want to work with people who see the same vision as I do. Am I making sense? So congratulations to everybody who said, I'm in. Andres Buffett King says he's loving it. Mohammed Nirman says, Shireen says, Nariman, tell me something. Was you being up 3 a.m. on Australia time to be on this call, was it worth it? Why? Yes or no in the chat? Because I bet you didn't know this was happening in Australia in real time. Now, I want to digress. Okay, let's talk about Web3. How many of you type in the chat? Do you want to make money slow, fast, or super fast? If you want to make money slow, you leave your money where it is in the bank. Okay, this is not for you. If you want to make money fast, you take your bot because you're going to earn up to 20% a month. Banks give you 5% for the whole year, right? Hence, slow, you leave your money in the bank system, right? But if you make money super fast, okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me just put this on pause. With crypto, with Bitcoin, banks never promoted it. There were no salesmen. It was word of mouth. You found out the technology was good, you bought Bitcoin. You understand? The whole crypto Web3 space does not have sales agents. It's all word of mouth. Listen, we have our own Web3 banking system. How does this work? Very simple. Customer walks to the bank. Let's just say I work with a big red bank, right? Hello, sir. How much you got? I got 5,000 Rand. I want to put in the savings account. Okay, no problem. 5% for the year. No problem. How do I withdraw this? We give you a MasterCard. So, ladies and gentlemen, how do you get paid? We can talk whole day, whole night about this thing called XRP and how you can make $1 million. But if I don't show you how to withdraw it, what's the point? Ta-da! 1st of May. How many days time? Today is the 20. What's the date today? Today is the 28th. 1st of May, our XAB MasterCard is going to be here. Some of you say, Shane, is that possible? Let's show you another link. Who wants to see another link? Watch this. MasterCard. This was when, this is Yahoo Finance. 11th of March 2026. MasterCard includes Binance and Ripple. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to have your XRP MasterCard. So, some of you are probably saying, but Shane, you don't understand. I bought a brand new house. I don't have a street address. Last time I took a selfie, my face was like this. They said it can't verify me. I can't, there's no FICA. I don't have my ID. I got mugged. I don't have my ID. Ladies and gentlemen, no KYC, no FICA. That means, oh, damn, this is live on YouTube. I was going to say something about SARS, but I just don't want to say anything. We'll talk about it some other time. But the MasterCard is coming. You guys understand that. We'll talk to you about that. So basically, you can do your withdrawal into your MasterCard, go to the ATM, put it in, go to SPA, anywhere that has a MasterCard sign. If you love that, give me some hearts in the chat. Give me some hearts in the chat. So, how many of you want your own Web3 MasterCard with your own Web3 banking system? Because that's what we're going to, right? So, this is your pitch. You can give them up to 20% with their MasterCard. So, how does it work? Now, this part here is for all the business guys. If you are a 9 to 5, I'm happy with my job type of person, but I just need like an extra 2,000 Rand a month to pay the fuel bill that's going to be going up to 17 Rand a liter, then you take the bot and you have a nice day. This part is not for you. This part is for the serious guys who says, Shane, I've got dreams, I've got vision. There's certain things that I want to do, from 2025 and beyond that I didn't have a chance to do from 2025 going back. So now that I can see this massive movement, I want to tap into this and how do we take this and we monetize this? Because Web2 monetize my data. Shane, how can you monetize my data here? So this is how we monetize your data on Web3. You will get paid a commission of every bot that's taken out into your community. So how do you do that? You invite them to a call like this. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is training. They would get the bot. The bot is on the blockchain. That means there cannot be a rug pull. It cannot be shut down. The owners cannot take any money, because if they could do that on the blockchain, the Americans, the CIA, the FBI would have done it too, but quite a long time ago. Basically, the blockchain, you cannot tamper with the blockchain. So this as well, you're going to get paid on the blockchain. So I want you to listen up very, very carefully. This is how the compensation plan works for income streams, from here. So I showed this to my wife. She says, okay, I want the bot. I made 8% from her. It doesn't care how many XRP they come in with, you just make 8% from them. But next week they say, wow, I need another bot, because you can have, it's blockchain. You can have multiple blocks. There is no rules and regulations on how many blocks, no age restriction, no color, no race, nothing. So she takes another bot, I make another 8%. She takes another bot, I make another 8%. You guys get it. My daughter signed up under her. My wife made 8%, 8%, 8%. Why? Because my daughter used her link. Remember? Referral link. All corporates are going this way. Scan QR code. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So please don't come with that Ponzi and all that talks by me, because this is Web3. You need to understand that. So, oh, by the way, let's talk about that. Some of our guys here will say, oh, let me go and research. Where they want to go? To Google. Google is Web2. What do you think they're going to find on Web2? A whole lot of crap about Web3. So please don't embarrass yourself and say, I went into Google and I found this blog and that blog and that blog. Believe you me, MasterCard Finish could see all the reviews on YouTube, all the fake blogs on YouTube, as well as your Google. So don't embarrass yourself by getting back to the person who might you and say, this is what I found. We've read it. It's done. It's dusted. MasterCard Finish say that these are all fake and all blogs. Okay. So let's move on. Where was I? Oh, yeah, 2%. So you get 8% personal, 2%, and you get paid 20 levels deep. Okay, I'm not here to give you a whole lot of information on that day, because that we do on our training, and I don't want to be too long on this call either way. So let's recap. Every Tuesday, you activate your bot. I'll show you how to do that. You get paid out directly to your Web3 wallet. If for those of you who are in the crypto space, I'll show you how to set that up. Or you just basically use your MasterCard. Okay, 4 streams of income, direct level 8%. For the second level, you get 2%. Level 3 to 6, you get 1%. Level 7 to 20, 0.5%. This year, you get paid unlimited levels deep. Once you hit ambassador with 1,000 volume in your team, one person can come in with 300. 2 other people would maybe 300. You have, let's say 333, right? 1,000 XRP, you can claim 6% of 1,000. Or if you don't want to, you let it go to 2,500 and you can claim 7%. Within 90 days, you can claim it. Okay. So you can monitor. So it took me like about, I would say 70 days to move from Ambassador 1 to Ruby. And then I claimed like 4,000 XRP. And then now I'm on Ruby again. Okay. So we'll do all of this in training. I don't want to give you too much of information, but I just want to let you know the opportunity is there. Zaf, maybe you would like to add some things in before while I just log into my account, because I don't want my credentials to be seen there, because I want to activate my bot in front of everybody for me to show them. Maybe you can get in Doobie or anybody you like to give a quick testimonial while I just set this up.
Hi, Shane. Yeah, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation and information. As always, we actually do have a new ranking member, well, an upgraded ranking member on the call. We'll introduce her shortly. But just to sum up what you said, the value of XRP, how powerful that is. I know to some people, it looks like a long shot for XRP to get to $10,000. But would you rather be caught not having XRP when it hits there, or having it? I would say having it, right? So, when you look at the figures, right? When you have an XRP, the figures don't really matter as the XRP rises because you have it. But if you don't have it, you're living in a state of panic. Now, let's just say, as Shane did the presentation, let's say some of y'all, y'all may not dream big, and that's okay. If 10 XRP is all you want to do for the rest of your life, that's fine. If 10 XRP today put in 5 years' time or 8 years'